Okay, Charlize Theron, Kate Blanchett, Demi Moore, Hilary Swank, Shirley MacLaine, Jessica Lange, Stanley Tucci, my favorite, Mary Aloe. I'm introducing Mary because she is the person behind the content creation. I'm going to let the other creators introduce themselves. Mary, raise your hand.
I'm Mary.
Mary is a renowned American film producer and writer, celebrated for her commitment to socially impactful storytelling. She's the founder of Aloe Entertainment based in Los Angeles, and she has built a production company that has run over $150 million in revolving equity funds. Mary, how many movies have you produced?
To date, about 52, and I've got my next 3 lined up right now, so very excited about it.
So while Mary does not have hundreds of millions of followers, her eyeballs on the project she has worked on probably number in the billions.
I think so. We have one right now on Netflix that came out last year. We're just crossing 100 million, called Mary.
And I'm just going to tell you one more fun fact about Mary. She specializes in producing, packaging, and financing films. And she's a key advisor in Partners in Kind Foundation, which is a donor-advised fund. And she is going to be talking today about how she got here. Chloe, very quickly, if you could introduce yourself and what you've done and your social impact.
I'm Chloe Ting, and I run a YouTube channel, and I do workout videos on YouTube. And
You were born in?
Oh yeah, I'm born in Brunei, which is a really small country, and then I moved to Australia. I lived in Australia half of my life, and then I moved to the United States 2 years ago.
And what platform can people find you on mostly?
Mostly on YouTube, and I don't use social media as much, but I do mostly post on YouTube, just workout videos, and I used to do more nutrition videos too. So anything that makes me feel good, I post like content that make other people feel good too.
Jenny, tell us your origin story. Miami girl.
Yes. So, hi everyone. I'm Jenny Hoyos, and I'm a content creator with over 10 million followers and over 4 billion views, which is it's insane to think about.
At age 20.
Yes. So, a bit about me. I was raised by entrepreneurial immigrant parents who learned English. Actually, my mom's here today, so
Stand up,
that's my
Mom.
Her name's also Jenny, by the way, if you guys want to speak to her. But yeah, so my mom's favorite way to learn English was actually watching movies. So naturally, she introduced me to all her favorite movies, and I fell in love with the art of storytelling. And I secretly opened a YouTube channel at 8 years old and started posting videos every day. And a couple of years later, they found out, because that's how parents are. But they only had one rule, and that rule was to be a good student. I just had to do really good in school. So I listened, and I started taking college classes at just 13, and I went to pursue my degree in finance, and I ended up incorporating that into my content a bit as well. And that's my story. I'm here today, a full-time content creator.
Amazing. Thank you. All right, McKenzi, another Florida resident.
Yes, I love us two Florida girls next to each other. I'm from Davie, and basically I've been kind of in the entertainment business since I was really young. I was a Gerber baby, and from there I went into modeling, acting, and dancing. I started dancing for different artists, doing tours and going on different performances with them. And about 6 years ago, I started social media. I graduated high school really early, and kind of from there, it's been a whole other world, from like being like a backup dancer to changing and like now being an artist, and I perform at different festivals and different concerts, and now I have a following of over 21 million, and it's been a lot of fun. It's been a great journey. I also have my mom here too, and she's been managing me since day one, and I'm very thankful for her. And now we're living in LA all together.
So you're all storytellers in different platforms. I want to hear a little bit about Who invested in you? You mentioned your mom's, and how are you paying it forward? Mary, who was your mentor? Who invested in you, and what are you doing to change the world?
Yeah, I mean, my mom was my mentor. She's not with us now, but she is in spirit. But I had a few mentors on the way, but honestly, I sort of self-taught, you know. I had some agents and producers, and, you know, they knew how to kick my butt a bit, and my work ethic was not to stop, right? And to continue and to really try to, you know, when people were going home, and I stayed till midnight, and I didn't stop working. I was sort of the kid that, you know, stayed in and studied a lot. I went out a lot when I was younger, but I became that. And so just to excel and excel and excel. But it's about really believing in yourself. So, you know, I mean, honestly, I have to say this, Gloria Allred is really one of my inspirations, like to meet her, you know, this weekend. And that is exactly the person for women. And I do, you know, have that where I look, you know, to other women to do it. But many times, and I'm in a little bit different generation from some of these women, you know, I've had to go into the boardroom, go into the meetings, and they don't often see me coming. It's changed a bit. But I've always felt that there wasn't the ceiling because I didn't manifest a ceiling there. And I always wanted to walk in, and I felt I had a little bit of an edge, actually, because they didn't see me coming. You know, times have changed a bit. But my inspiration really was just learning and listening from people. There wasn't one individual that inspired me. It was a collective amount.
Chloe, who inspired you? And you didn't start out in the fitness world, correct?
No, I was actually working in an insurance company as a risk analyst.
There was laughter in the room. That was
For about 2 years, and then I quit my job, and then I started YouTube. So I had a degree, honors degree, master's degrees. They're all in financial markets, and I had a thesis about how it's gonna, what's gonna impact the volatility of financial markets, which is insane compared to what I'm doing right now. When I was working, I would write, financial models. And one day I just decided that's not what I want to do for the rest of my life. And I quit my job. And I stayed jobless for a little bit. I just want to figure out what I want to do. And then I started my YouTube channel. I did not have any income. I had a mortgage too because I was working. So I was like, you know what? It's time to buy a home. And then I was definitely scared, but that pushed me to work really hard and to get to where I am today with my YouTube channel.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Speaking of money, Jenny, you make money funny. How do you do that? And has anybody been able to watch any? If you haven't, please watch all of their content. It's all very different.
Oh, thank you.
And both of you make me crack up.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, everything all comes down to storytelling, really. You got to know how to hook people. You need to know who your avatar actually is, who you're speaking to. If you know that the person watching your content is probably a mother with lots of kids and doesn't have much money, you want to hook by speaking to that viewer. What's something that could be relatable to them? Maybe they're buying like Gerber or different products, and you can incorporate that into the hook and say, okay, is it just me or this product is getting more expensive than usual? And now it feels like, oh, wait, they're talking to me. So at the end of the day, I think it's about actually speaking to people and knowing how to speak to them.
Yeah, some of my favorite things that Jenny does are the hacks, where she tries to recreate like a Starbucks pumpkin latte.
Yeah. Yeah, it's storytelling. I don't just say, hey, this is the recipe for a Starbucks drink. Boring. I'm not watching this. I make a story by saying, my mom just spent $1,000 last month on Starbucks coffee, and she used my credit card. So today I'm going to take her to Starbucks, but instead of giving her Starbucks, I'm going to switch their drink with mine to prove that mine is actually better. See, it's more interesting that way.
What's your hook, McKenzi? How do you get people to watch you? And what impact do you hope to make?
Honestly, I've been very lucky that I just kind of put my personality out there. I'm always myself. For me, I don't try to find my way around. I'm just honest, and I could just say how it is. If I like a brand, I like a brand. If I don't, I don't. When I'm performing, yes, I have an intro into every song I sing. There's a song I'm coming out with called Liar, Liar. And every single time I perform, I'm always like, who has brought their best friend today? And there's a whole crowd and they scream yes. I'm like, your best friend always has your back, right? Even if it involves talking to the hottest bad boy in school, your best friend knows who they truly are, right? And I basically get into the topic of they're a big old fat liar. So I do intros when it comes to like my music, but with my content, I've just I do makeup, I do dancing, I do acting, I do skits, and I'm just honestly myself. And I could be sometimes very dramatic, and that's how my family is too.
Mary, tell me a little bit about the impact of the work that it's such a large body of work, but what is it about visual storytelling that really makes people and inspires change?
Yeah, well, what I like up here is, all these women are brands, right? And I'm sort of the girl with the cigar behind the camera, right? That's what I
Give her a
always
cigar.
wanted to be anyway. And so for me, I'm really, the brand is the storytelling, is the movie. And as I've been doing this a little bit longer, I felt that social impact, most of the movies, I felt, well, I need to kind of take this power of this medium, which is so powerful, and really try to do something with it. So when the popcorn is finished, you're turning off Netflix or you're walking out of the theater, that if you're doing a movie on social impact, that there's actually a campaign attached to it. I did another movie on Netflix called Worth with Stanley Tucci, Michael Keaton. He played Ken Feinberg, who, ran the 9/11 compensation fund, but he was hired by the insurance companies originally, right, to actually suppress all the money to be given. And because he had an arc in the story, he ended up getting massive amount of money for over 6,000 families. So we premiered at Sundance, and Ken came, and Hillary came, and Bill Gates. It was very exciting. And then we sold it to Netflix. But other movies, Eleanor Reese, it was Helena Bonham Carter playing, and Hilary Swank, the lawyer, about patients being over-medicated in the systems and fighting the system from within when she was put herself in. Battle in Seattle, I did with Charlize Theron about Democracy Now! And the World Trade Organization. These are movies, and I'm working on something right now where we're looking for the last amount of funds about climate change, about the summit in 1980 in St. Petersburg, Florida, that didn't quite transpire into what it should have been. It would have made a change in climate change. It's Paul Giamatti, Paul Rudd, John Turturro, Toni Collette, Evan Peters are all starring in it. And we're just about to go, and we're looking for a last piece of financing for people that actually want to get involved because they think it's going to do well. The director is the Oscar-winning director of Spotlight. And we're starting and we're shooting soon. And, that's something that's important, where we're going to take the campaign, right? We're going to make the difference. The movie will come out. Hopefully it gets nominated. And but we actually want to get involved in impactful organizations, Bloomberg, other organizations that are very focused on climate change, that know the importance of these issues. And so that's what we're doing. We're not just stopping at the movie. Popcorn's done, the lights are up. We're actually taking the campaigns to make it further, which will further the audience anyway, right? And actually is a win-win to make more money for the investors as well.
Amazing. Thank you.
Yeah.
You can applaud.
You can applaud. It is
You can
good.
applaud louder. Come on. And so poignant, because we're here at the UN, and one of the global goals is to address the environment, to address climate. Chloe, I want to ask you, and maybe ask the three of you, what advice do you have for rising young creators? How do you get these millions of followers? What's the secret sauce?
Sorry. So I've been doing content creation for about 9 years now, and what worked 9 years ago is probably not going to work today. Things change really quickly, and you need to adapt. But the most important thing is staying committed to your work, to your cause, to what you believe in, and stay true to yourself. And I think these days on social media, you just want to chase what's trendy and what's happening, and it's just like social media is like an echo chamber right now where there's just so much noise. What I think is most important is do what you believe in instead of chasing what is trendy right now, and be the change yourself. Yeah.
McKenzi, what's your advice? You want to make it big on social media?
Well, one, I always say you have to be really consistent. It's in any type of workspace, though. If you want to become a CEO, you have to keep working every single day to get to that next level. But something that I've been told since I started social media is, one, always be you. Especially, I feel like Gen Z, we can absolutely tell when someone is being like fake and like lying to us and not being their true self. So I've always been my real authentic self. There's no other way to be. And then my second advice would be haterade is Powerade. If somebody hates on you, take it and use it for fuel to do what you love.
Amen. Jenny?
I am so excited. I feel like I could speak for like an hour.
Well, you have 3 minutes
yeah, I
and
have 3
37
minutes.
seconds,
Okay.
but and don't take it all.
Yes, I'll try to make it concise as much as I can. So I have helped thousands of students. This is what I do on a day-to-day basis. On top of creating my own content, I help lots of content creators and businesses grow their channels and help with their campaigns. So yeah, so I don't know what to talk about. But yes, so at the end of the day, all these social media platforms have an algorithm. And the goal of the algorithm, well, is to have you watching as long as possible. So on your videos, you want high watch time. How do you get that high watch time? Well, you need to make people care, because if they don't care, then they're not going to watch your video and they're not going to watch until the end. So that's why we hook by speaking to the viewer that you are intending to speak to, and then you make them care for several reasons. That's why when you watch a movie, let's say Spider-Man, you're going in for Spider-Man, oh, he's going to beat the villain, but actually they make you care about Peter Parker, and now you're watching this movie for multiple reasons. And you'll notice that you actually care more about Peter Parker, because at the end of the movie, they'll have the payoff of him beating the villain, but then they'll still leave another 10 minutes to show what happened with him and Mary Jane, because you actually cared about Peter Parker. So in your videos, you want to make people care and give them multiple reasons to watch.
Mary has something to say about Peter Parker.
I'm going to bring you out to Los Angeles for Miami to start making movies.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
That's what I have to do, some of that as well. And, look at the POV, whether it's Mother Mary or it's Ken Feinberg or it's Eleanor Reese or the people that were in the climate change conference in 1980, and we're portraying them. So well done. POV.
Thank you.
Okay.
Just to close it off, because we only have about 2 minutes left. Chloe, it's not easy to be a content creator. Can you talk a little bit about some of the challenges you've encountered at trying to get your message out?
I think because I grew really quickly on social media, on YouTube, and I get a lot of hate, just like any other creators do. So I had to fight back, and I sued to a corporate and a person, a defamation suit, and I basically won it because I wanted justice. And
I love that justice is the theme today.
justice.
Justice, ladies and gentlemen.
I just don't want people to bully me just because of how I look, and I'm really soft-spoken, I'm really introverted, and people tend to bully me growing up, and I don't want people on social media bullying me, so I made it known that I sued them.
Good for you.
Yeah, good for you. Quickly, because we only have about a minute left. Jenny, what challenges have you faced and how have you overcome them?
I mean, the biggest challenge was definitely not getting views for years. I mean, I started content when I was 8 years old, and I got my first 1,000 followers at 16. Like, it is so hard to be consistent and post every day when it is not working, but that's entrepreneurship. You have to work even if you're not making money, even if you're losing money. So you just have to keep pushing through. That was the hardest part. But the reason I was able to push through is because I really loved what I was doing. And if you really love what you are doing, then it doesn't matter if it's not working.
McKenzi, talk to me a little bit about your entrepreneurship.
Is it on yet? Well, one, when it came to balancing everything out, because just as much as like I do social media, I also do acting and I also do music. So when it came to entrepreneurship, just for me, just being able to balance it all out and be able to like be authentic to myself as a content creator and authentic to myself as an artist. And I started recently being able to combine both of those and taking like the storytelling when it comes to like going into my music and posting that, and then afterwards leading into my new song.
Amazing. And finally, Mary, as an entrepreneur, I know that you are driven because I have been on the receiving end of your drive in the short time that we've known each other. That hustle, where does it come from? How do you tap your inner hustle?
That's actually really good. I'm doing a book deal right now, and that's my next one. Guess.
Write it down. I'll ghostwrite it.
Yeah, I like that. How do you tap into your hustle? I think it is about doing what you love. You'll do it well. That's one of the things I say. I also try to say, the struggles when I did have and didn't have what I may have attained now, whether it's, success in the career or monetary. I didn't give up. And I always say, don't settle for that B life, right? Live your A life. Yeah. Even if you've got to, struggle a little bit, live that A life, all right? And I think also believing in yourself, and I'm at a point in my life, though, I think entrepreneurship true is also paying it forward. And I particularly also love all the guys here, but I like to inspire other women a lot. But paying it forward as well. And
amazing.
Paying yourself forward.
All right, we are so out of time. Thank you all for paying it forward. Mary, McKenzi, Jenny, Chloe, thank you. Ebony, I can't wait to hear your recap.